Okay, so now we know that how to register a user and send back an access token to the client whenever he or she registers. But there is one thing left, and that is the refresh token, and that will be done later in this series. But for now, let's handle the login route. That is, if someone wants to log in inside our application, if he or she has already registered. So let's see how do we do that. So let's go to our login route here, and currently if we go to our REST client here, and if we go to this route here, that is login route, we see only this thing here, that is this response login route. So let's handle this login route here. So firstly, what I want to do, I simply want to remove this response.send statement from here. And whatever we are going to do inside any of the routes, we are going to do inside try and catch. So try catch, and if there is an error, we can simply call next with the error here, like this. So now, firstly, what we want to do, we want to validate the incoming body of the request in the login route. So it is pretty simple to do, since we already created our validation schema here inside this helpers file here, and this schema is called auth schema. So we can use this auth schema inside our login route as we have used here inside the register route. So we can use the same thing here, that is const result equal to await auth schema dot validate async request dot body. So let's do it here. So const result equal to await auth schema, because this auth schema is already been required here inside this auth route.js file, as we can see here. So auth schema dot validate async, and here what we want to validate, we want to validate the request body. So we can simply pass in the request body here, and now we can simply send back the result for now. So response.send result, and I'll show you why I am simply sending back the result for now, because I want to show you how to handle errors whenever there is an error inside the request body. Let's save this file here, and now let's go to our REST client here, and this time inside the login route, what we want to do, we want to send an header here, that is the content type of the request. So content type would be application JSON, and then it would contain both the same fields that are in the register route, that is the email and password. So why not, let's simply copy it from here and let's paste it here. And this time I want to log in as johndoe@gmail.com, because he has registered inside our application, though we have not checked for the registration. So let me send a request here. So we see that we are getting back the result here, and that's what we were checking inside this file here. That is, let me close these unnecessarily open files here. That is what we are sending back here. So now what happens if he doesn't send an email back? So let me remove this email from here, and let me make a request again, and this time we see that we are getting internal server error and we are getting email is required. Or if we do not send the password, so let me remove the password from here. So we again make a request, we see that password is required. So let me put the password back, and this time let me not provide an exact email. So let me remove this thing from here. So let's again make a request. We see that email must be a valid email. And now let me show you one more thing. If we provide a password that is less than 2 characters, because inside our auth schema, let's go to a validation schema, we see that the required password length is minimum of 2. And if we make a request here, we see password length must be at least 2 characters long. So these kind of messages you do not want to send back to the client. Instead, what you want to send back to the client is that invalid username and password, and the HTTP status code should also be bad request. So let's go to our auth route here, and here before calling this next with the error parameter here, what we'll do, we'll see that if error is Joey, and this is coming from the Joey package, because if this error is thrown because of this result, because of this validation thing here, then the error would contain is Joey equal to true. So let me check it. If this is equal to true, then what we want to do, we want to say error equal to, or we can simply create an error like this. We can simply call in next here. So return next, and here we'll create an error, create error dot bad request, and here we can simply say invalid username and password, invalid username / password, like this, because this is the only error which you want to send back to the client. You do not want to send back an exact message to the client. So let me save this application here, and now let's go to our REST client here, and now let me make a request here, and this time we are getting this thing back here, that is bad request, invalid username and password. And if we remove the email from here and let me provide in the OK password here, again we see that we are getting the same response back here, that is invalid username and password. So this is what you want to send back to the client, and not the exact error message that is coming from the validation schema. So now that we are done here, let's go back to handle the auth route. So here, after validating the request body, we have the result inside this result here. So now what we need to do, firstly we need to find the user inside our collection, that is the user collection. So what we can do, so const user equal to await user dot find one, and here we need to find one by email. So we can say email would be result dot email, because result contains our email here. So now firstly what we need to check, if there is no user. If there is no user, then we'll say user not registered. So we can check it like this. So if not user, then we can simply throw an error that would be cached by this block here. So throw error, so throw create error, and the error would be not found because the user is not found inside our database, and it would say user not registered. So user not registered, like this. So now let's save this application, and now let's go back to this login route here, and let me see. So we are getting back this thing here. So now let me provide it any email ID that is not registered, because John Doe was registered inside our DB. So let me make a request. So we see that we are getting this not found error, that the user is not registered. So now let's change back to John Doe, and let's go to our auth route here. And now what we want to do, we want to match the password that is coming inside the request body with the password saved inside the database. So to do that, what we can do, either we can do all the stuff of importing bcrypt here inside this authroute.js file, or what else we can do, we can go inside our user model.js file, and here we can write a method inside this user schema. So we can do that very easily. So here, before creating the model, what we need to do, we need to say user schema dot methods dot is valid password. So this method is our own name, and you can name it whatever you like. So is valid password equal to async function, like this. And again we are going to use the normal function, because we cannot use this keyword inside the arrow functions. So function like this, and this takes in only one parameter or one argument, and that is the incoming password that is coming from the user. And now what we'll do, we'll try and catch, and the error would be error. And if there is an error, we can simply throw the error, because this is not a middleware. So we can simply throw error like this. And now inside the try block, what we want to do, we want to await, and we can use the same bcrypt library which we use to hash the password. So await bcrypt dot compare, and we are not using the compare sync version, we are using compare here because we are using await here, and bcrypt dot compare. And what we want to compare, we want to compare the incoming password that is passed here as an argument here, and then the second password from which we want to compare it would be this dot password, like this. And now we can simply return this thing from here, because it returns as a boolean here whether the password matched or not. So we can simply return this thing from here. And now we can use this method, that is valid password, inside our auth route where we find this user here. So we can save this file here, and now let's go back to our auth route. And here what we need to do, we need to say const is match equal to await user, not this dot user, but user dot is valid password, because this user here has an access to this method here, because it is defined inside the user schema. So we can use this method here directly. So await user.isValid password, and here the password would be result.password, like this, because this result contains the password here, as we have provided in the result.email, and so we have provided in result.password. So now what we'll do, we'll say if not is match, if the password doesn't match, then what we want to do, we want to throw an error again that should be catched by this block here. So we want to simply throw the error. So throw create error, and the error would be unauthorized. That is the 401 error. And here we should simply say username / password not valid. And we do not say here password is not valid, because we do not provide the user with a direct reference that the password was invalid but the username was correct, because it will make a security hole inside your application. But instead you should be providing them with this message here, that is username / password not valid, like this. So now let me save this thing from here, and now let's go to our REST client here, and let's see that if we are able to log in with the current credentials. So if we are able to log in, then we would simply be getting back the result here. So let's make a login request. We see that we are getting the result back, and now let me provide in a different password, that is not 1234. So let me log in, and this time we see that we are getting 401 unauthorized response back here with the message username and password not valid. So let me change it back to U1234, and let's go back to our auth route. And now if the password matched, then we know that we have a valid user who's trying to log in. So we can generate a new access token. So const access token equal to await sign access token, and here we want to pass in the user ID, and the user ID we can get from user.id, like this. And now instead of sending back the result, we need to simply send back the access token inside the object here. And the refresh token we'll be adding in a later videos. So now let me save this application, and now let's go back to our REST client, and now let me make a login request. And now we see that we are getting the access token back here, which we can use to access protected routes. And now there is a single error inside our JWT helper, and that is whenever we are trying to sign a new JWT token, that is the access token, it might be a case that there is an error while generating the JWT, and that error you should not pass to the client, because the client has nothing to do with that. That is your internal server error. That is a fault of yours and not the fault of the client. So you do not have to pass that error back to the client, but instead you should simply pass an internal server error back to the client, and you should only log the error for your own purposes. And here we see that we are simply rejecting the error here. So now first let's see that how does this error worked. So inside the payload, let me provide the ISS also here inside the payload, and it would generate an error here, because that is how this library works. That is, if you provide two key value pairs inside the payload also and inside the options also, so it would throw an error. So let me save this application again, and now let me try to log in. So we see that we are getting this internal server error here, but we are also getting back this message here, that is bad options issuer option, the payload already has an ISS property, and this is a server error, and this message you should never pass directly back to the client. So what we need to do, we need to go to this helper here, and here if there is an error, we do not simply reject the error. What we can do, we can simply say, we can say it like this, that is console.log error.message, like this. And to reject the error, we do not reject the error like this, but instead we should reject the error like this. So reject create error dot internal server error, like this, and we should comment this thing out from here. Now it should be an internal server error as it was before, but it would not contain the exact message as thrown by this JWT library. So now let me save this thing from here, and now let's go to our REST client here, and now let me make a login request again, and now we see that we are getting this thing back here, that is internal server error, and the message is also internal server error, and we are not getting back the exact message that is thrown by the JWT client. So now let me remove this payload from here because this throws an error. So now let me make a login request back and we are getting back the access token. So guys, this is how you log in inside your application. And in the next video, let's see that how do we access the protected route using this access token.